Boundaries, Chapter 1, A Day in a Boundaryless Life. 6 a.m. The alarm jangled, blurry-eyed from too little sleep. Sherry shut off the noisy intruder, turned on the bedside lamp, and sat up in bed. Looking blankly at the wall, she tried to get her bearings. Why am I dreading this day? Lord, didn't you promise me a life of joy? Then, as the cobwebs left her mind, Sherry remembered the reason for her dread. The 4:30 meeting with Todd's third grade teacher. The phone call returned to her memory. Sherry, this is Gene Russell. I wonder if we could meet about Todd's performance and his behavior. Todd couldn't keep still and listen to his teacher. He didn't even listen to Sherry and Walt. Todd was such a strong-willed child, and she didn't want to quench his spirit. Wasn't that more important? Well, no time to worry about all that, Sherry said to herself, raising her 35-year-old body off of the bed and padding to the shower. I've got enough troubles to keep me busy all day. Under the shower, Sherry's mind moved out of first gear. She began mentally ticking off the day's schedule. Todd, 9, and Amy, 6, would have been a handful even if she wasn't a working parent. Let's see. Fix breakfast, pack 2 lunches, and finish sewing Amy's costume for the school play. That will be a trick. Finishing sewing the costume before the carpool picks her up at 7:45 a.m. Sherry thought regretfully about last night. She'd planned to work on Amy's costume, then using her talents to make a special day for her little girl. But her mother had dropped over unexpectedly. Good manners dictated that she'd play hostess, and another evening was shot. The memories of her attempt to salvage the time weren't pretty. Trying to be diplomatic, Sherry artfully told her mother, "You can't imagine how much I enjoy your surprise visits, Mom, but I was wondering, would you mind if I work on Amy's costume while we talk?" Sherry cringed inwardly, correctly anticipating her mother's response. "Sherry, you know I'd be the last to intrude your time with your family." Sherry's mother, widowed for 12 years, had elevated her widowhood to the status of martyrdom. I mean, since your father died, it's been such an empty time. I still miss our family. How could I deprive you of that for yourself? I'll bet I find out how, Sherry thought to herself. That's why I can understand why you don't bring Walt and the children to see me much anymore. How could I be entertaining? I'm just a lonely old lady who gave her entire life to her children. Who would want to spend any time with me? No, Mom, no. Sherry quickly joined the emotional minuet. She and her mother had been dancing for decades. That's not what I meant at all. I mean, it's so special having you over. Goodness knows, with our schedule, we'd like to visit more, but we just haven't been able to. That's why I'm so glad you took the initiative. Lord, don't strike me dead for this little lie, she prayed silently. In fact, I can do the costumes any old time, Sherry said. Forgive me for this little lie, too. No, why I don't make us some coffee. Why don't I make us some coffee? Her mother sighed. All right, if you insist, but I'd just hate to think I'm intruding. The visit lasted well into the night. By the time her mother left, Sherry felt absolutely crazy, but she justified it to herself. At least I've helped her make her lonely day a little brighter. Then a pesky voice piped up. If you helped so much, why was she still talking about her loneliness when she left. Trying to ignore the thought, Sherry went to bed. Sherry returned to the present. No use crying over spilt time, I guess, she mumbled to herself as she struggled to close the zipper of her black linen skirt. Her favorite suit had become, as many others had, too tight. Middle age spread so soon, she thought. This week I really have to go on a diet and start exercising. The next hour was, as usual, a disaster. The kids whined about getting out of bed, and Walt complained, "Why is it so hard to get the kids to the table on time?" 7:45 a.m. Miraculously, the kids made it to their rides. Walt left for work, and Sherry went out and locked the front door after her. Taking a deep breath, she prayed silently, "Lord, I'm not looking forward to this day. Give me something to hope for." In her car, she finished applying her makeup at traffic stops. Thank the Lord for long red lights. 8:45 a.m. Rushing into McAllister Enterprises, where she worked as a human resource director, Sherry glanced at her watch. Only a few minutes late. Maybe by now her colleagues understood that being late was a way of life for her and did not expect her to be on time. She was wrong. They'd started the week executive meeting without her. Sherry tried to tiptoe in without being noticed, but every eye was on her as she struggled into her seat. Glancing around, she gave a fleeting smile and muttered something about that crazy traffic.